Hola, hola! My name is Zulean and welcome to Una Preguntita. As a Texas Rican, my life has been anything but traditional. I went from studying engineering to farming in Hawaii to building a career in nonprofits before diving into entrepreneurship. Every twist and turn taught me something new. But let's be real, life doesn't come with a manual. In Una Preguntita, we always begin con una pregunta, a question. So dime, have you ever felt like you're thriving in one area of your life while Googling how to be a functioning adult for the rest of it at 2 a.m.? Yeah, been there too. Every week, you and I are diving into the stuff nobody really teaches us. How to actually understand ourselves, build connections that matter, and handle those awkward conversations that keep us up at night. Whether you're figuring out workplace dynamics or trying to level up your emotional intelligence game, we're getting into it. I'm bringing you big questions, tools, and strategies for you to build the life and career you want. No filtered perfection, just honest conversations and practical ways to grow into your unapologetic self. Grab tu cafecito, get comfy, and let's figure this out together. Esto es Una Preguntita, where curiosity and understanding leads to action. Vamos! Okay, amigui, ya tú sabes, every week we are starting con una preguntita, a question. This week's preguntita is, are you moving with intention or are you just moving? I mean, let's be honest, in a day, you are probably going from one thing to the next, right? Like you have your Zoom call, your Slack ping, a quick LinkedIn scroll, and then you try to squeeze in some self-care and somehow that turns into doom scrolling, right? And I've been asking myself lately, ¿pa qué? What's all this movement, this rush, this anxiety for? Like, are we actually getting closer to something meaningful, or are we just keeping ourselves busy so we feel like we're progressing? Sometimes I'll finish a week and I'm like, damn, I did a lot this week. But when I really think about it, did I actually move forward, or did I just check boxes? That's what we're diving into today. This is for my amigui who is always on go mode, always looking for ways to be better, work smarter, live fuller, but maybe hasn't paused lately to ask, what am I aiming for? Am I still in alignment with what I really want? And most importantly, do I feel proud of how I've been showing up? We're not here to hustle harder. We're here to get intentional. We're here to think. Con calma y propósito, intention. So if you're ready to slow down just enough to check in with yourself, let's get into it. Story time. Zoom back to when little Zulean was 17 years old, and she was teaching me, I was teaching my first client, Joaquin, this cute little 5-year-old, how to swim. By that point, I'd already been competing competitively for 13 years in swimming, and I had been coaching for 2 of those. I started work when I was 15. Both of us, Joaquin and I, were super excited to just jump in the pool and have some fun. So I was like, okay, let me use the same theory that I use in coaching. I will ask them to swim, and we'll see where their baseline is, right? And evaluate where we can progress. So I put little Joaquin on the wall. I stepped back around 5 feet, not too far, and I asked him, all right, Joaquin, swim to me. Ay, el pobrecito. Well, the cutie pie ended up choking on water and actually not moving at all. He just sank. I learned quickly that I was really going to have to start with the basics. And Nene, the kid, was choking on water. So, okay, that means that he's breathing in water. So that means I need to teach him how to blow bubbles, right? And he wasn't moving, so he needed to learn how to kick, how to use his legs. We went ahead, we started again. I taught him how to blow bubbles, and I taught him how to move his feet, and he got them. So I was like, all right, let's try this again. I put little Joaquin back on the wall. I took those 5 feet steps back, and I was like, all right, Joaquin, let's do this. Swim to me. And the cutie pie was moving his legs like he practiced, but he wasn't moving. And in case you've never swam before, there's only so much you can blow bubbles out until you need to actually breathe air in. And this cycle that I was on is called the growth mindset cycle. I was experiencing something. I thought about where can we improve, and I went back into the doing stage. Okay, so I was experiencing Joaquin choking on water and sinking that first time. I thought, oh no, if he's swallowing water and not moving, that means he needs to practice bubbles and he needs to practice kicking. I taught him, and then I went into the doing stage, right? I taught him how to blow bubbles and kick. I bring this story in because a growth mindset is a tool you need to progress. The stage number 1 is you experience, you move into the thinking stage, and then you move back into the doing stage. Okay, so now fast forward up to 2024. I was deep in the experience part. I had a business at that point. I was running leadership workshops and coaching individuals. And at this time, I had just wrapped up a stint of like back-to-back workshops, panel sit-ins, networked with over 200 individuals, essentially smiling, shaking hands, showing up big, right? But when it all calmed down, I sat on the couch and was like, espérate. Okay, what just happened? Like, really, what stuck? What drained me? Where did I shine? What felt, I'd say, off? And that's when I realized, oh my goodness, look at me. I'm practicing what I preach. I was in the thinking part of the growth mindset cycle. That second part, you experience, you think, and you do, right? I was in that second stage. And that part is usually skipped because it feels too quiet. It feels too still. But it's the most powerful part. It's where we find the gold. Imagine if I were teaching Joaquin to swim and went straight from experiencing, essentially watching him drown, to doing, asking him to swim again, without having considered, wait, he needs to learn how to blow bubbles and kick. Skipping step 2, thinking, is honestly how a lot of individuals live day in and day out. Amigui, real question. Are you falling into this category? If so, how do you expect to metaphorically swim si no paras a pensar if you don't stop to think? That's what we're here to talk about today. Hoy, you and I are breaking down 3 mindset shifts to get you from step 1, experiencing, to step 2, thinking, that will launch you into growing, aka step 3, doing. Number 1, reflection is a form of action. Oh, did you hear that? Reflection is a form of action. I want you to throw away the thought that thinking means you're not being productive. I want you to consider it as a part of the process. It's not you being lazy, it's you being intentional. And I get it. As a high achiever, you want to go straight into the doing. But Amigui, if you never pause to check your direction, you could be walking really fast in the wrong direction. Did somebody pop into your mind when you thought about the go, 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 or not pausing to think? If so, I want you to share the knowledge you are learning today. I want you to be generous and share this episode with somebody that you think could really benefit from this. Okay, so you and I are reframing. Instead of asking, what's next? Try asking, why? Where will it get me? That was 1. Reflection is a form of action. Punto número dos is what, where, how. What, where, how. Repeat it with me. What, where, how. I'm like throwing it back to Dora times here. Repeat with me. What means what happened? Where can I improve? And how am I moving forward? These are the 3 questions you can use to start you on the why questioning path. I once hosted a workshop that included these 3 questions: what, where, how. And a participant, let's call her Maria, shared with the group that she often said yes to meetings because she thought it'd only take an hour. But when she did the reflection, she realized, oh man, I'm doing a disservice to both myself and my team because number one, I don't have the bandwidth to prep enough before the meeting. And two, I tend to be the person that volunteers myself for work that doesn't align with my role. And then three, I ended up struggling to get it all done, which affects the team in the end. Before this reflection, Maria originally thought she just wasn't a strong enough worker and just needed to be better. But with thinking, aka we're bringing it back to that growth mindset cycle of experience, think, do, Maria realized, espérate, maybe I need to start saying no to these meetings in order to both support my team and myself. When you walk yourself through these three questions, what, where, how, you can think about it as like you're decluttering your mental desktop. You close those 47 open tabs to focus on the one that really matters. Oh, did you just flinch because I called you out on all the open tabs you currently have open? Echa pa'lante, pero con una dirección. Move forward, but in a specific direction. Woo woo. Okay, amigo, we are rolling. You and I covered punto número uno, reflection is a form of action. Número dos, what, where, how. And tres, now, is growth over perfection. I'm calling everybody out today. Yes, perfectionists, I'm coming for you too. Mira, we're not out here trying to be flawless. We're trying to be honest. We're trying to evolve. And that takes effort. It takes personal grace and it takes reflection. You're not trying to fix yourself. You are showing love to your future self by checking in and adjusting now. Oh, snap. Did that just came out of me? Okay, I'm going to repeat it again because it was just too good. If you're off in La La Land, come back to me. Here we go. You're not trying to fix yourself. You are showing love to your future self by checking in and adjusting now. When I reflect, I'm not judging myself for my missteps. I'm setting myself up for smarter moves next week, in an hour, in the next day, right? So here's the mantra I want you to carry into your week. Thinking is doing, just with more intention and less noise. We're choosing growth over perfection here. Tú estás creciendo. You are growing quietly, smarter, and with direction. All right, amigui, time for the wrap up. You and I are throwing away the thought that thinking means you're not being productive. Reflection is part of the growth mindset, right? Those three things: experience, think, do. Remember the line you and I repeated over and over and over again? Que bueno. You're gonna say it with me again. Here we go, just like in Dora. The three words are what, where, how. What happened? Where can I improve? How am I moving forward? And the last biggest takeaway, you and I, nosotros, are choosing growth over perfection for our future selves. I want to leave you with this. Next time you're sitting on the couch, staring at the ceiling, wondering if you're doing enough, remind yourself, yes, you are, because you're checking in, you're aligning, and you're growing with intention.
Zulean, ¿qué aprendiste esta semana?
Gracias por la pregunta, papi. Thank you for the question. Mira, I think you're really going to like this one. It's a little nerdy because it talks about history and economy, but it's still super juicy. So listen up. For background, I love understanding why people think or act certain ways. So when I was listening to the Andrew Yang podcast episode, Is the American Dream Dead with Yoni Applebaum, it really made me pause. So For the last 200 years, the US was known for being a very mobile country. I'm talking people switched homes, towns, careers, chasing growth, right? In the 1800s, 1 in every 3 people moved. And even up until the 70s, that average was 1 in 5. But now it's 1 in 13. And here's what really got me. Even if people want to move, only 15% of those individuals actually do. Like half of the folks who dream about it end up staying put. ¿Y por qué? Because mainly they can't afford to go. Housing prices, job markets, life expenses, all of it makes it feel unattainable. Let me tell you about an example Yoni shared. Back in the day, if you were, let's say, a janitor in small town Alabama, and you wanted to be quote unquote better off, you could simply move to an emerging economy or emerging place, let's say like San Francisco, okay? Your income would go up and would stretch farther, aka you'd be better off, and potentially your next generations that followed would be too. Pero today, a janitor making the same move from small town Alabama to San Francisco wouldn't even be able to afford to live there today. This 200-year-old move to grow mold, it just doesn't apply anymore. And when people can't move when they want to, it starts to show. Individuals have been shown to become more cynical, less involved in their communities, and they stop believing in a better future, which results into that zero-sum mindset. So a zero-sum mindset is essentially the thinking that if you win, I lose. There are only so many parts to the one pie we now have to share. Pero on the other hand, when people do move when they want to, they have been found to be more hopeful. They believe in the future, they get involved, they build, and ultimately think, if you're doing well, I can too. It's wild to think that the way we move or don't move literally shapes how we see the world. So yeah, eso aprendí. Moving, or even the ability to move, shapes way more than just a zip code. It shapes your whole mindset. Amigui, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to share this with your friend, somebody that might need to hear this. That's the show. Si te gustó, if you liked it, make sure to share it, rate it, and write a review. ¿Qué aprendiste? What did you take away from today? Como siempre, I'm your amiga Zulean, and I'm sending you off today con un huge abrazo, amigui. Nos vemos en la próxima.